A recent study found that two common habits increase your risk of developing Alzheimer's by over 30%. The most alarming part? You're probably doing both of them every single day. So what are they? And how can you protect your brain starting tonight? Let's find out.
Welcome to Second Prime, the place where your best years aren't behind you, they're just getting started. If you're into practical health and wellness tips after 40, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more people like you find this. We're building something meaningful here. Glad you're part of it.
Alzheimer's is often seen as a condition of old age, but by the time memory loss appears, the brain has already been under attack for years, even decades. According to the National Institute on Aging, the early stages of Alzheimer's begin with damage in the entorhinal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for learning, navigation, and memory encoding. This damage is mostly silent, no pain, no symptoms, but the first spark is often lit by something you can control: chronic, low-grade inflammation. Inflammation is your body's defense system, but when it's constantly active, it starts to damage healthy tissue. In your brain, it breaks down neuron communication, leads to toxic protein buildup, and eventually shrinks memory regions. And the two daily habits we'll reveal in the next chapters, they are the biggest accelerators of that inflammation, quietly pushing your brain toward decline. For most adults over 40, sitting has become the default, but neurologically, it's one of the most dangerous defaults you can have. In a 2018 study from UCLA, researchers used high-resolution MRI scans to examine the brains of middle-aged adults. They found that individuals who sat for longer hours each day had significant thinning in the medial temporal lobe, the brain region critical for memory. Crucially, this thinning was not related to age or physical activity. Even those who exercised regularly still showed brain deterioration if they sat for too long. Why? Because prolonged sitting reduces cerebral blood flow, starving your brain of oxygen and nutrients. At the same time, it elevates systemic inflammation, a key driver in the early stages of neurodegeneration, including Alzheimer's. Brain scans show that long periods of sedentary behavior lead to structural changes in areas responsible for learning, memory, and emotional regulation. This isn't about fitness, it's about neuroprotection. Standing up for 2 minutes every 30 minutes, taking short walks, or using a standing desk. These small changes restore blood flow, lower inflammation, and help preserve your brain's architecture. It's not movement for movement's sake, it's medicine for your mind. Sugar isn't just a weight problem, it's a brain problem. And after 40, the effects become exponentially more damaging. In a 2017 study published in Diabetologia, researchers tracked over 5,000 participants for 10 years. They found that people with higher blood sugar, even within the normal range, showed significantly faster rates of cognitive decline and brain shrinkage. Why? Because glucose spikes trigger insulin resistance, which impairs the brain's ability to absorb and use energy. Over time, this starves neurons, inflames tissues, and increases the buildup of amyloid beta plaques, one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. MRI scans from a separate study, published in Neurology, showed that people who consumed sugary drinks daily had smaller total brain volumes and poorer memory scores. The damage isn't always obvious. You might feel foggy, forgetful, or irritable. But beneath the surface, sugar is dulling synapses and aging your brain at the cellular level. Limiting processed sugars, refined carbs, and sweetened beverages isn't just about waistlines. It's about preserving cognitive health and protecting the brain you'll depend on for the next 40 years. By now, it's clear. Two everyday behaviors, prolonged sitting and excessive sugar intake, are more than just lifestyle choices. They're powerful variables in your brain's long-term health equation. Let's start with sitting. A 2022 study published in Neurology followed 49,841 individuals and found that those who sat for 10+ hours a day had significantly lower brain volume in the medial temporal lobe, the area responsible for forming new memories. Even among physically active people, uninterrupted sedentary time was linked to reduced cognitive performance, indicating that regular movement breaks are just as crucial as total exercise time. Now let's revisit sugar. A 2019 paper in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that high blood glucose levels impair connectivity in key brain networks like the default mode network, the system that helps us daydream, reflect, and recall. Worse, chronically high sugar intake increases amyloid beta plaque buildup, one of the pathological hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. In short, your sweet tooth could be quietly laying the foundation for cognitive decline decades before symptoms appear. But here's the empowering truth. Both of these risks are modifiable. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and rewire, remains active well into our 60s and beyond. A 2021 randomized trial in The Lancet Healthy Longevity showed that even moderate lifestyle interventions over 6 months improved memory and executive function in adults aged 60 to 77 with early cognitive symptoms. So what does this mean for you? It means the clock hasn't run out. The decisions you make today to stand up more often, to skip that sugary drink, are not just healthy, they are neuroprotective. You are actively building a brain that's more resilient, more focused, and better prepared for the years ahead.
If this video helped you in any way, even one small change you'll try tonight, leave a like. It tells the algorithm to show it to someone else who might need it. And if you want more clear, science-backed ways to protect your body and sharpen your mind after 40, stick around for more. Your second prime isn't about going back. It's about staying sharp, steady, and strong.